Hello, guys. Welcome to our channel once again. So, we're here again, another panel to chat about episode 9 of Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 6. So, today's episode, I I felt two ways. I felt it was interesting, but at the same time, it was not what I was expecting. Like I felt like I was catfished in that fight between Louis and um Martell. I was really catfished. I felt like things should have happened more, but they just deceived us and made us feel like there was something that was going to happen more, but did not happen. I don't know if you felt like that.
Yeah, I did. I certainly did, but maybe he thought about it. And like I said, those three M's coming toward him, that's six fist, you know? And maybe he thought about it and realized that, hey, Tiffany is my wife, and the math wasn't mathing. It wasn't adding up, what she came saying to what they were saying. So maybe he thought about it, and maybe he thought about, hey, you know what, I'll just wait till the reunion. Once the reunion happened and I see and hear everything, then he can make his decision on how he's going to react to it.
But, uh, well, what did you feel about the episode Shop Reality TV?
I enjoyed the episode. Yeah, it was one of the better ones this season. I do have to say. Do you hear an echo
Um, is there an echo?
No,
when
I don't
when
hear
I
one.
speak? I'm hearing an echo. No? Okay, never mind.
Okay, let's just talk about this. Like, firstly, what I want to talk about is the fact that Mattel and Masao came in looking like homeless beggars. I'm sorry. This outfit made me laugh so much. Like, I felt like they were looking like, what was this? What was this? What was this strange coat on Masao, on Mattel? He just, we know Mattel as always this glamorous person that always wants to make a statement when he's coming into somewhere. He wants to be the best dressed male in the building. But I didn't understand. It looked as if he was forced and was like, they put up a gun to his head and said, "You must be in this gathering." Like production forced him to be here because what's this dress? Like they felt like thieves that were coming in to rob the household. They didn't look like people that were coming to actually be in this party.
Well, I felt like that's not his style of dressing. From what I've seen, I didn't particularly care for it, but I'm thinking maybe under the circumstances because he went there with purpose, and the purpose was to talk to Lewis. You know,
Yeah.
and with that purpose, I mean, Lewis, he's a big guy. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he was dressing the part like, hey, just in case I get in a little scuffle, I don't want to be all in my little tight suit. You know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
need to quit talking about his suit, because maybe it's appropriate for his age.
Maybe so. Yeah, to me, he looked like a burglar. Like he was on his way to commit a crime. The way he was dressed. But I guess he thought he was looking chic. And then Marceau, I don't know. I guess he was trying to look super hip and cool.
Yeah. Like I this dressing did not do any good for me. I was like, what the hell is this? Like it was just off. But now coming to the main issue, the quarrel between Marcel Martel and Big Louis. In my opinion, I felt like I couldn't get annoyed with Big Louis because Big Louis was doing what a husband should do. Understand where he was coming from. That's his wife. Notwithstanding that I know Tiffany was wrong, but I still know that as a husband, you know your wife is heavily pregnant. You will not be happy to hear that two able-bodied men, instead of coming to meet you as a friend of theirs, they decided that they wanted to go challenge your wife without you being there. That kind of like pulled me off in one way. But I support Lewis in standing up for his wife. I didn't understand why um Masao would actually try to say she's a Karen, because I feel like he misconstrued the Karen word, and the way he called her a Karen was not necessary. Because his definition of a Karen, if his definition of a Karen was what he meant, he himself was a Karen when they were having that meeting with Martell, because he was acting unnecessary. He was giving an opinion that was not needed by him. He himself was a Karen by his own definition. So him going as far and calling Tiffany in front of her husband a Karen was, I felt it was a stretch. I know she was not right. I know she
Right.
fucked up. I know she did wrong, but the way they did it was it didn't make sense. And I also feel like um production actually cut this fight shorter than it should be. I felt like they didn't want to cause issues, so they actually cut the fight, because even when Maurice came in, it looked so over edited, because you literally saw that Louis wanted to go at it with Martell. So where did all the heated arguments go? From nowhere, it just they just settled. It was looking like production to me.
Yeah, it felt like we missed a whole scene, because like
Exactly.
if if you're in the middle of anger and you're pointing your finger like that, and you're almost touching somebody, where does all that anger go? I mean, I know I personally can't get rid of my anger like that, you know, even counting to 10. If I'm in the midst of it, I'm in the midst. So I felt like they cut out some scenes and said, hey, look, you guys are gonna have to wrap this up in a nice way so we can continue shooting the season. I don't know, but it seems like we were missing some scenes.
Yeah, the scenes were. That's why I said I felt like it was a catfish to me. Because watching it, when I saw Louis like went at it with Marcel, with Marcel, I knew he was pissed off. I
Yeah,
knew he was annoyed. And the way that Marcel kept on still saying that he felt like he didn't do wrong, even when he was trying to tell you, I know my wife spoke out of place, but courtesy demands, as the husband to this person, she's heavily pregnant. She's not just, and he was trying to explain this is a conversation between women.
true.
If Sherelle felt like I felt offended by what she said, she should have come to her herself. They are women. They would literally, settle their issues. But for him, taking a woman's talk, then bringing two men together and talking about it to her, mm, that was a no-no for Lewis. And he was trying to prove that point. But as Martel that he is, he doesn't always want to take correction. He feels like he is always right. And Masao at one end calling someone a Karen when he was literally being a Karen, acting, giving side talks. I felt like Masa was literally adding um more fire into what was going on. He was adding fuel to the fire, because he literally was not there to try to pacify Louis. I felt he was there to make Louis more agitated. He wanted it to be bigger than it was. That's what I thought Masa was doing there.
I agree. I totally agree. But you know, Marcel, he was just agitating the whole situation, because for the first time, his feet aren't at the fire, you know. So he was
Yeah,
making light of everything, you know, in a jokester kind of way, like sidebarring the
exactly.
conversation, So yeah, he had nothing really to do with it, and calling her Karen wasn't right, especially when he's being Ken, so you know Like
Oh my
I
god.
didn't get his part in that either.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get the impression that Marceau seems to think that he's the smartest person in the room. You know, he just kind of acts like he's smarter than everybody else. And he has all the answers, and they seem to allow him to do it too. And that jacket he had on looked like it was too short.
Too tight.
I-
I know, like what is
Where she where,
I'm just used to I don't know. I'm just used to guys wearing looser fitting clothes. The tight jackets and the tight pants and
pants, like it wasn't doing it for me. Like I felt like it was overreached. Let's go to the comment section. In case anybody wants to join us, you can join us. If you want to join the chat, you can actually join us. The link is on the comment section. You can click on it and join us if you want to give your opinion on this episode. So Leandra said the scene was heavily edited and it made most see them scuffle because allegedly they did fight. For me, I felt like they would have fought because the way Louis was, it was in Martell's face, like he was
yeah,
there. I saw him there. The look was there. I knew that he had rage in his eyes. But all of a sudden, I was like, what a catfish. Like, why did they not show us the fight? Like, why would you tell us that you are? I keep on complaining this thing. Why would you tell us that we're watching a reality TV show? And literally, there is no reality in this. Like in real life, I would literally want to exchange blows with someone that doesn't respect my wife. I would.
right.
But
Right. I mean, I agree, I don't know why Sheree really didn't speak up to Tiffany. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
she came back with some good comebacks, but you know, I, I personally, I would have been like, you know what, girl, like, stay out of the business, stay out of my face. We're not about to have this conversation. You know, like it's none
yeah,
of your business what my does. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and then for her to say it was because she loves blended families. Like, really? It was just way out there.
Uh, yeah. Tiffany is just too. I think she's too. She's those kind of. She's the kind of person that says what she thinks. She doesn't really. She doesn't really realize. Think to herself like, is this something I should say, or is it something I should keep to myself? But she just says it out. Like she's very blunt. Let me just say it like that. She's very, very blunt.
But Tiffany, to me, seems like she's the type of person who throws rocks and hides her hands. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
she came in the show like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
Even
Said this stuff about the teenage boy in the bathroom, and then Maurice did
yeah,
confront her about it, and then she started crying. Guys, remember that?
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
first season, yeah. So she does this sort of thing.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Even the way, even the way she went explaining it to her husband Louis, like she made it so big that Louis could not be anything than annoyed. Like she just explained it, and did you see that happiness she had in the face when she already know that she had made her husband so annoying that he was ready to exchange blows. She knew at that moment that she has sparked the nerve in Louis. The way she explained what actually happened between her, Masao, and Martell. I felt like she was like goating them. Like I felt like she wanted this. Like I'm not pleased because she's actually giving drama. If not because of her, we won't be saying any. We won't be talking about a lot of things. But I felt like she purposely did it.
Yeah, that smirk at the end kind of said it all.
Yeah, that smell was like. what the hell is that? Like she felt so happy with the stories.
Yeah,
Like she felt like she was fulfilled by what happened.
right. I mean, she went to Lewis like, with half of the story. She made it sound like like they bombarded her, and
Yeah,
jammed her up soon as she couldn't even she had like she couldn't even have a seat before they start talking to her about it. You know?
exactly. Yeah, she acted like she was a lost puppy in their midst. Like she was shocked. Like they were about to even beat her up. That was how she was acting to her husband. I was like laughing, like, really, really. But
But
I'm
you
loving
know,
it because she's giving us something to talk about. You were saying
she
something,
is.
shop reality.
Yes, I was just going to echo your sentiment. Yeah, she is giving us something to talk about. And of course, she has to make up for last season because the only thing that I remember them doing was coming to the couples counseling, right? And then leaving early. And I don't remember seeing
Yeah,
or hearing from them the rest of the season. So she's
I'm
doing a
telling
great
you.
job of solidifying herself and Lewis for another season. And looks like, this is turning into the Tiffany show. It seems to be all about her at this point. Like, what else is going on? Oh, but we'll get to
Yeah. So someone Leandra also said Masa was acting like a bitch with those unnecessary kicking and ad-libbing. Yeah. He was literally I said it, he was literally wrong with those ad-libs he was giving. It was unnecessary. Like calling someone a Karen, look at yourself in the mirror. You are literally your explanation. You are that. But Masao, Masao would never see wrong in everything in anything he does. Masao is always right. Masao is the best person. Like he puts himself above every other person on this show. I literally feel that way. That Masao puts himself above every other person on this show.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about big egos the last time, and you know what? This show is full of male big egos. You know,
Yeah.
and I don't know how the wives really deal with it. Especially if look, never let your ego downplay me. I don't need nobody dimming my shine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, and would you do that to a partner really? If you didn't feel that that partner was your equal?
But that's just it. He doesn't think anybody is his equal. I think he thinks that he is the smartest person that he knows. I guess
Yeah.
he would be in his own household, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's the king of his castle.
He sure is.
Exactly. But talking, okay, let's not talk about them. We'll talk about them later. Now let's come to this scene here. How did you feel about this when she was crying? Like a lot of people were saying that it was fake, it wasn't being real, and she was just trying to like fake it. But I felt it was real. Like I felt like she at that moment she started having like this pregnancy issues. Not like it was disturbing her, but she became emotional. But a lot of people don't believe it. A lot of people are saying people on Twitter online have been saying that it's fake, and they felt like she was just doing it for dramatics and she was just lying. That there was nothing wrong with her. How did you feel when you watched her crying on the scene?
Well, me personally, okay, first off, I just want to say I hope she's okay. I hope the baby is okay. But when I seen it, I was like, Tiff up to her old tricks. She always crying when she's backed up in the corner and she's looking around talking about, but I don't know where Lewis is. And yeah, you knew Lewis was outside talking to Marceau and them about you guys' little meeting, you know. So all of a sudden she wants to cry. And it's like she has a bag of tricks,
Bag
you
of
know
tricks.
and that crying stuff is like one of them, you know.
Yes.
So I just kind of felt like, I'm not sure about this, but it just looked like another trick to me.
Could be. And you know, they're really good at teasing us for the next episodes, like showing that truck speeding away. It may not have actually happened, you know? It may not even happen like that.
I, I, I don't want to get my hopes up before I feel like it's another catfish, like today's episode. But man, that truck speeding off, like as if it was a life and death issue. I was like,
Right.
what's going on? Like, oh my god, it's Tiffany is just like she's making me. That's why I said I enjoyed this episode. She made me enjoy this episode. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna give her that. I did enjoy this episode because of Tiffany.
Right, right. Well, when they speed it off like that, I was saying, like, didn't Kimmy just say it's something about, is it wrong for us to call the paramedics? I mean,
Yeah, do we
you
need
know,
permission to call the paramedics?
yeah, like, was she
Oh my
refusing?
god.
Was she refusing? And like, if you're really in that much of distress,
Right.
you're not gonna refuse a paramedic, because a paramedic, they're gonna come quick. They're gonna get you directly in there with the doctors. You won't have to sit in no waiting room. They won't have to. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
bypass all that.
Right. And Kimmy's a nurse, so she's trained in being able to, detect if
Yeah,
something was abnormal.
exactly. So it
Oh,
was that was kind of fishy, and like, okay,
yeah.
what's going on? The roads are wet and you're speeding. I'm looking at everything. I'm like, okay, it's raining out there. you know so
Yeah.
yeah, it just didn't look right.
Well, I guess we have to wait till next week to literally know what exactly happened.
Yeah.
But moving forward, I wanted to talk about Tiffany and our able guy Masao. Like, I am tired of them showing us this land. This is the sixth season, and they've
Mm.
showed us this land again, and it's
Mhm.
literally empty. Are
Yes.
they not ashamed of themselves? Because I would be ashamed of myself that in season one I showed the same land. In season two, I did show the same land. Season three, season four, season five, season six, this same land still empty.
Yes.
I should be ashamed. I shouldn't be coming out and showing the same land and be proud. And she's saying, "Oh, I made sacrifice." What effing sacrifices did you make, if not your lies that you tell? Like, you come on TV and you lie and you lie and you lie. Like, pissed by these two. The way they sit and like they analyze others and believe that they are the best people on the world, that don't have their shits together. That's what I hate about them. They don't have their shits together, but they sit down and judge every other person on the show.
Right, right. Well, you know I'm just gonna throw this out there. If it was my land, and we can't afford to do something, we're gonna get some tiny houses out there and put them all together, and we gonna do something. You know what I'm saying? Sell the land, because it doesn't take that long to build a house.
Telling you.
It doesn't. Not no 6 seasons.
Exactly. And they didn't give any explanation for it. All she said was, "Oh, it's going to be it may be another 2 to 3 years," and they gave no explanation why. That was it. We're moved out of our house into an apartment so that we can remodel our house. But what
Well,
about the plans, and why haven't you started building? They gave no reason for the delay.
okay, let's talk about home remodeling. I have done a home remodeling. Do you look? I was here through it all. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to move out of your crib to do a home remodeling. So, like, what's up with that? When she said they were moving into an apartment to do home remodeling, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. you know. And I mean,
Exactly.
I I did upstairs, downstairs, you know. And the
Exactly. I wanted.
crazy,
Yeah.
yeah, the
No, you can go
crazy
on.
part. Pardon me.
You can go on.
Oh no, well, I'm just saying the crazy part is it took like maybe 5 months, and it was just two people doing it, me and my husband. You know what I'm saying? We did all of it, everything. So I don't understand why you would have to move into a smaller place just to redo the place that you call home. But that's just me.
Plus, they didn't say what type of remodeling they were going to do. They didn't say, "Oh, we're going to remodel our kitchen. We're going to add a third bathroom." They did not say. And it's like, okay, the producers just let them get away with it. That little scene of her packing up stuff, and that looked like a staged room. That furniture looked staged. It did not look like their actual furniture. The color scheme, everything's like, this looks like it came from a furniture store or Airbnb or something. And then her wig was horrible. But what frustrated me is that they did not give a reason for the delay. That was it. We're going to have to wait another 2 or 3 years. And no reason. They didn't even say anything.
Right.
Exactly. I felt like, why is it that they always want to list, they always want to ask people for explanation for whatever thing they are doing, but what when it comes to them, they don't want to give explanation. They just want you to take it as face factor. When they say blue is blue, you should take it, and you should not check whether it's really blue color there. And I'm getting tired of this. I'm literally getting tired of this. You said you want to build a house. This is the sixth season. You still have the effrontery to take us back to that same land and show us, oh, I've sacrificed a lot. What lot have you sacrificed? That for six seasons you've been sacrificing those things, and you've not still be able to even do a simple stuff on that place. Even if it's a small, tiny house, a small one. You've not been able to build it on that land, and you've been telling me also you've been sacrificing for six seasons, and now you're coming to tell us that, oh, the house we have, I'm gonna we are moving to a smaller apartment so as to renovate. When I heard that, I was like, who moves out of their house for renovations? Like, please find a better excuse.
Yeah.
Like, probably you even had to sell your house, or you literally had something else to do. But you saying that you literally had to move from your house
Yeah.
to an apartment, that was like a big lie, a very big lie. I feel like there's something going on, especially as everything has been going on. Because I feel like, did you hear about their fundraiser that has gone sideways?
The what that went sideways?
The fundraiser for the deserving children. They said they they opened a charity organization,
Uh-huh.
and they had a fundraiser for, I think, 150K, and
Mm.
for, I think, for 2 months now or so, it's only $100 that was contributed.
Oh
And
wow.
now they brought it down. There was supposed to be a party at Black, but now
Mm.
they postponed the event last week. All of a sudden, from nowhere, the event was postponed, and they were, as in, they are now saying that, today I saw on Latisha's handle that they've always been catering for the elderlies. I was like, get a hustle.
Yeah.
Do you cater for to build houses for children that don't have houses, or are you catering for the elderly? Pick one and be realistic for once. Don't come and
Mm.
tell me you want us to contribute money for you to build a home for children that don't have homes. Then tomorrow, when it doesn't work out for you, you come and say something else.
Yeah, but they don't even have a home. So how could you build a home? You don't have your brand new home. So how could you build a home for um children who don't have a home. And I understand what you say. Start somewhere.
But their idea of starting somewhere was just too grandiose in the first place. Like $150,000. How many homes are you going to be able to build with that? And they only gave themselves like a month to pull this thing off. And then once it was postponed, they gave no real explanation. That was it. And then they removed the information from their Instagram accounts.
Oh wow.
Yeah, very. They don't like giving explanations to anything they do, and now they are saying they've been catering to the elderly. I saw that today, and I was like, please, what is this new lie again? Are they not tired? Did you also notice in the video? I don't know whether you watched the video. There were literally more white people in schools than black. I'm not trying to be. I don't want to bring racism into this, but there were more white people, and I'm suspicious about that. I don't know whether you noticed that shop reality TV.
And what scene was that?
No, it was not on the show. It
Okay.
was Latisha posted an Instagram story.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, I don't, I'm not sure if those were their employees or not. I don't know if they were probably just handing out T-shirts at that event and asking people to put them on. Who knows?
I I actually also thought that because the only person I knew was Jalen that was there. Then
Right.
Masao and Latisha and their kids. After that, I didn't really see anybody. But I'm just trying to keep my hopes up. But when it comes to those two, I literally don't trust them anymore.
Mm.
Everything they say or touch for me is a lie.
Wow. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt just because. No real reason. No real reason. I don't know. I don't know why they think that they if they are scamming or whatever, this audience for this show is too smart for that. I mean, the people who watch the show are super intelligent. They figure things out so fast. So I don't know why they keep pulling these stunts. That is, if it was a stunt, I don't know, but it's unfortunate if it was. Hopefully, it was
Yeah.
not. Hopefully, they
Yeah.
just plan on doing it bigger and better. What do you guys think?
But have you noticed when it comes to Masao and Tisha, every information we have about them, we never got it from the show.
Mm.
It's either
Interesting.
we got it from social media or someone came and exposed them or someone brought it up on the internet. None of them ever appeared on the show. We never found out anything. We found out that black was not theirs from the internet. We found out they've not um they didn't have black on the bottle. It was not theirs. They were just partners from the internet. They have
Mm.
never come out and say on the show, this is exactly what we are and what we do.
Mhm.
They just we just find those things out. We never found out about the court case or the court cases they have from the show. We found it from the internet. Why is it that they are the only okay? Some people have joined them literally, but why is it that you are on a reality TV show and we're literally finding things about you from the internet instead of us watching the show and finding out those things about you? We literally have to go back on the internet to find those things about you, or maybe someone that has an idea of what was going on around about you comes outside to expose you. It doesn't make sense. And it's also fishy that it's when they are in problems, they start acting like a loving couple. For a long time, we've not seen Masao and Tisha post themselves on social media, but immediately the scandal about um Masao probably dating a makeup artist, from nowhere, they did a video where they were smoking cigar together, and I'm like, okay, these two, they got to stop.
Yeah. I wanted to find out whatever happened with that Black Expo that they were doing.
I think
Oh,
it's
they
still on.
did it. They did
Will
it.
be
Go ahead.
no, you can go on.
No, go ahead.
I think it's still on. It's gonna be coming up maybe later on in the episodes.
Yeah, it's got to come up.
Well, I guess we will know about it from next week episode. Actually, from
Mm,
next week episode, we'll talk more about the Black Expo. Yeah,
okay. Okay.
yeah.
I thought maybe they suggested said they were gonna do it and it never happened or it didn't get as big as they wanted. I don't know because we never heard anything else about it.
No, well, I think we're gonna hear more about it from next week. At least that's the only thing I know that they've said. Only because it actually benefited them. I don't think Latisha and Masa want to do anything that doesn't benefit them themselves.
Hmm. Yeah. And I think they probably maybe they're are just local hometown celebrities. Like, they keep saying how small Huntsville is, so maybe
Huntsville
these
is.
are like superstars in that town. Then they get on
Yeah,
a TV show, and it's like now you have to actually produce what it is that you're claiming that you have, and these
yeah.
viewers are going to find out,
Mm,
like, what is the real deal with these two?
right.
That's what I say that most of them, especially, I feel I said it. I think there was a panel I joined one time, and I said Masao, Latisha, Martell, they have this problem that they think they are Beyonce. They are as popular as Beyonce. So they
Say,
overhype themselves to think they are, when you are Beyonce, when you have the same level of popularity as Beyonce, there's some things you just skate through. But you are not there. You are just I'm sorry, Z-list celebrity. And you are acting like an A-lister. Why?
not Z
Nobody
list.
asked you to. What did you say, Shari?
I said not Z list. Z list.
Okay, what list are they
No,
on?
no, no. I agree. I agree. It's funny. It's funny.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. The problem is that they put too much pressure on themselves. They want to keep up a lifestyle that they cannot afford.
Right.
I think that's their problem. They want to keep up a lifestyle. They want to create this life of we're living this luxurious lifestyle, this sweet lifestyle, and you don't have the cash to literally sustain yourself in the way you've painted yourself. One thing about lies is that when you lie, you have to keep up with those lies.
True.
And the way Marcel and Tisha is, I don't think there are people that would want you to know that they are lying. They'll always want to cover up their lies with more lies and more lies and more lies and more lies. At the long run, you're going to end up being disappointed.
Yeah, then a couple of seasons ago, he was complaining about how much she was shopping.
Right. He sure was.
Yeah, like,
What was she buying?
look, really. And she was like, well, look, I buy the kids' clothes, I buy the food, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And, like he gives her a budget, and within that budget, she has to make it happen,
Not
And
make it happen.
yeah, and why is he complaining about her buying herself some clothes? She's on the show,
Right.
y- you
Right.
know.
And
And
look
if
at the
you're,
other women on this show. I mean, not all of them wear these fantastic clothes, but some of them do. And
yeah,
it's like you got to keep up at least. I know they say keeping up with the Joneses, but the other ladies have elevated themselves, since season
right,
Yeah.
one. The way that everyone's appearance is, she has to elevate herself as well.
exactly. I feel the same way. From one
She, she,
shopaholic to the next.
Exactly.
oh, but I wish them well. But I'm waiting for next week episode because it seems like next week episode is gonna be exclusive for the both of them. Next week's
Mhm.
episode is going to be very explosive for Latisha and Masao. So I'm literally, you know, crossing my fingers for next week episode. While I'm waiting for next week episode, how did you guys feel? Going back to Tiffany's party, how did you feel about they talking about Martell and Sheree and the whole Tiffany stuff with Melody there. I felt like, girl, you guys should read the room. She was not in the mood for those thoughts. You can
Right.
as well as did it. I felt like Stormy was trying to pry where it was not needed. And the
Right.
fact that she also brought up oh, Sheree said you were a fan. Are you a fan? I love the fact that sorry, I said Destiny. I love the fact that Melody just ended it there and just nipped it on the board, because I was like, what the fuck is this? What exactly is Stormy's issue?
Right. I thought it was kind of messy because you bringing it up and the guys are sitting right there, so they're getting an earful, and I just thought it was just pretty messy, and then all of a sudden, should we continue this conversation because Mel is here? Well, yeah, I would want to hear what you guys are saying behind my back, you know. But if I
Yeah.
find out it's about my ex,
Right.
who
It was
I don't,
disgusting.
yeah, I don't care about no more, then yeah, I'm gonna leave my little plate of food sitting right there on the table and bounce too,
Right. It was so
especially when he comes
disgusting.
in.
It was so disgusting, and Tisha looking all weird and silly, just trying to get it out, and Mel looked so confused on her face, like what? Probably
Yeah,
thinking, why are you guys bringing this? Go away from me with this. Why are you guys bringing this to me? How long
yeah,
have I been divorced and away from this man? Like, I don't care
yeah,
who
yeah,
he's dating.
exactly.
I don't even know why they did not understand her reaction. The first time they started talking about it, she literally bounced. She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get my food." That should have They should have read the room like, I think it's time for us to end this topic. But no,
Mhm.
immediately she came back, they started again talking about the same thing. And I'm
Yeah,
like, why? What was the fun in that? Would
yeah,
any of them be happy that you were talking about your ex, we know that you and this ex are not in good terms? It's a different
right,
thing if we know that you and this ex, you're good to each other, you can literally
right.
coexist together. But you
Hmm.
know that this person, they're not in good terms, and you decided that, oh, that's it. I'm just gonna talk all my feelings about this issue. Like, there's something called courtesy. Shut up. At that moment, I love Miss Nell Fletcher, but at that moment, I also felt like she should have kept quiet and not dig deeper about that topic anymore. Because they literally made Mel leave the party on time because of that shenanigans. It was unnecessary.
Right, right. And you know what? I never remember. I'm gonna have to go back to that episode about Sheree saying that Mel was a fan,
She said in the last episode. No, okay, yeah, at
or
the
or did
upscale
or did
party.
or did Tiffany say, "Oh, she was like a fan"? I think that's what I remember.
Okay. What I guess I need to go watch it back. Well, what I heard was she was saying that she only met Melody once when she came for her book signing. But when you talk, it's how people take it. Some people tend to take things out of context. You could say one thing and somebody else would think about it in another way. So I
Right.
feel like when she said, what do you know as a book signing? When I come for your book signing, the long queue, I would not stay on a long queue for your book signing if I don't like you. If I was not
Hmm.
a fan of yours, I would literally stay on the long queue of a book signing because I'm a fan of yours. So she's saying it like that. She might not have said Melody was a fan, but the way she said it, oh, Melody stood at a key, stood to get a book signed of mine. It's already in the context of, oh, she was a fan of mine.
Right.
That's how I did see it. I don't know if anybody has any different opinion about that. Because that was how I saw it. So I didn't really feel like Tiffany took the talk in a different in a different way. I felt
Yeah.
like she just understood it the way it was said. Yes,
Right.
she really didn't say it like that, but she
Hmm.
insinuated that.
Right.
So that was what I felt. And but the what's her name? Oh, what's her name? Stormy hitting on it like, oh, she said she was a fan. Ah, please. You just want to bring Melody down so much, and it's very disgusting.
Yeah, because right now she's kind of having beef with Melody because Melody, she's in her own headspace. She's in her own world. She's in her protective state right now. You
Yeah,
know,
she's protecting
she's trying.
herself.
Yeah, she's trying to heal. And I could completely understand that. And she comes around these girls, but I know as soon as they start with that stuff, she's like, "Oh, the color is so beautiful around here." She just goes off in left field, or she'll leave, you know, that she's protecting her energy, and I can
Yeah,
respect that, because the girls are
exactly.
messy. They're messy, you know.
Very.
They got a beef with you. They're gonna carry that bone until it's time to toss it, you know. Whatever they know. Huh, here you go. I found that out. So let's say it in front of the whole room. You know, it's like goodness gracious. I pray that nobody in my circle is like that. you know. But I'm gonna have to sit back and do more watching in my circle. You know, you just never know these days.
Yeah.
Well, what's up with Stormy's husband sitting there with that knit cap on at the table eating? See him with
But
that cap on his head and a coat, or was it a jacket? Just coming from outside. But anyway, I agree. That was so uncomfortable, and then the way they kept talking about it. But see, Vivian made a good point saying that they have no storyline. Like, what else is there to talk about? Usually, Kimmy, if you know
Yeah.
any scene she's in, she's going to bring up Mel. If she's in a scene with Mel, then she'll bring up someone else. But that's just all she does. Except for tonight when she was in the car with Maurice. I thought that was an interesting conversation that they had. Were you going to talk about that?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. This this um this person said because there's no storyline. What Vivian Allen said, because there's no storyline, what exactly are they going to do next season? Because Mel is out, they are just going to turn on each other. Exactly, we're just going to see another Real Housewives of Atlanta display or happen to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Because once Mel is out, their common enemy, what else? They have to turn on each other and start hating on each other. That's just the reality of life. When your common enemy leaves, the only thing left to do is to hate on yourselves. There is
yeah,
nothing else left.
yeah, or bring somebody in. Bring somebody in.
Yeah.
Ariana.
But if Mel leaves the show, would you still watch the show? Do you think the show is still going to be interesting? Like,
Not really. I mean, I would probably watch maybe one or two of the shows, but if it's not enough content there, then no, I probably would watch something else.
Yeah,
yeah.
only if Tiffany was like wreaking havoc, you know, going after everybody else, I would watch it. But I have a hard time watching the episodes as it is. There's so many like long, drawn out scenes. Like, does this show really need to be an hour long? Because some of the scenes are so drawn out, lots of dead silence, dead air, just sitting there looking at each other. I don't know what they would fill it in with if she were to leave the show. Tiffany would have to be wreaking havoc in everybody's relationship. Otherwise, it won't be entertaining. You're on mute. You're muted. You're muted. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. You're muted.
Sorry. Let's come to the topic of Marcel and his wife. Sorry, Maurice and his wife. See, what's her name, self? I tend
Kimmy,
to forget their name.
Kimmy.
Kimmy. Now, what did you feel about this sex talk and this chemo deeming her sex and the way he was like, you've been married to somebody for how many years and you didn't know when she was faking? That felt off to me. That he didn't realize she was. I know sometimes you might not know, but you've been married for long. You should know when your wife is literally overjoyed by you and when she's faking that. I felt so like what is wrong with Maurice? Is it that his sex drive is something else I don't understand? Because we've always talked about this thing for different seasons now. We've talked about his sex, his long libido. So I don't know why that should still be an issue now that she's going through chemo and radiation. I think at this moment there should be a little bit of sympathy for her because there are a lot of things going on in her body system. Like she's not feeling herself. Chemo is draining everything. Like I felt like it was unfair to her that she had to think to herself that okay, I still had to fake it so that my husband might not step out.
Yeah, that scene was a little bit sad, and it was also it was informing because like a lot of people go through chemo, and to completely lose your libido, that's horrible. And by that being the truth, it's like, why is he so demanding? Like, dude, like, use your hand. you know like, do something other than feel like you have to have it at this point. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like he's like a teenage cub and she's like a old cougar. You know, and you seen those little dogs that just be humping everything. Hump the leg. People come over and they standing there. Your dog go wrap his arms around there and hump their leg. He just seems like he's horny all the time. Like this is like one of their main conversations. If it is not monster,
Right.
it's the sex life. Like
Right.
I don't get it.
And she seems to have a lot of fear about that. Maybe that is something that scares her. That if she's not able to, be intimate with him as much as he wants it, then maybe, I don't know. I don't want to say it, but yeah, she seems really concerned about that.
I feel like she was not only concerned, she was fearful about that. The way this when especially when she was talking with her friend, you could literally see the fear from her. Like, I don't want a situation where because of me, like I felt bad that she would be thinking that because of herself, she was not even considering her own situation on how she wasn't feeling nice, she wasn't feeling sexy. She was just only considering the fact that she was scared that her husband might literally step out of the marriage because he can't hold it down
Right.
till maybe she feels okay with herself. I literally felt bad for her. I did feel so bad for her. And I felt like Maurice is not considerate. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Maurice is not being so considerate. And he was like, oh, whenever you just come, you pull your axe on me, I feel like you want to. Really? She only wanted cuddles. And you took it to a sexual. Oh no. And see, this car ride was like the most depressing thing I've ever seen before. A lady not feeling sexually all right, and her husband thinking that I'm pretty sure that For her to have talked about it, that means she must have been going through a lot because of this issue.
Yeah.
And this is not the first time. We also remember when they went for the couples retreat. She also talked about, and then she didn't even know she literally had cancer. This cancer thing was not an issue then. She has always been complaining that he wants too much sex, money. I think that time he said, did it say 3 times a day, or I don't know. When they were in the couples retreat, when I was talking about how many times you had sex, it was like I can't remember. He said whether 3 times a day or 3 times in a week. And I was like, then I was like, what the hell? Why would you put that pressure on somebody? And now that at that time she was okay, he was demanding that much sex. Now she's not okay, and she's going through chemo, and she's going through a lot. She's not feeling sexy.
Right.
Hmm.
I can
I felt
imagine.
for the first time in a long time on Love and Marriage Huntsville, I felt bad for Kimmy.
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely felt bad for her, because that, that's a hard pill to swallow. If you're not feeling your best and you're not feeling beautiful, and then here goes this old horn dog on the side of me, you know, who just wants to get one off. It's girl, look, I couldn't. I just, in my own personal life, I just couldn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We would have to
Hmm.
have separate bedrooms or something, because if I'm sick, I'm sick.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Shoot.
And
And
he's
then
not like
her
it's not
doing
like he's
all
23,
she's
24.
doing, yeah, she's doing all the housework.
Right. And cooking.
Yeah.
And it's not like he's a 20-year-old man. He's like in his
That's what I
40s,
don't
right?
get.
What?
How does he have that such high libido for that old age? Like, I don't get. And I
I,
see Kimmy is trying because I won't clean, cook, do everything in the household, still get to work, and still come back and want to satisfy you. I don't care, man. Go and look for those girls outside. I cannot sacrifice my own body for
yeah.
that. Like I could imagine when she was saying that, I literally was imagining every time he was on her and she wasn't feeling it. And imagine, oh my God, imagine the 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 stuff he could think of when she was like saying that all those times she never really, came, and he was like, okay, I could wait, I could like stay more until you ejaculate. I was like,
Wow.
why would you want to stay longer when she's even complaining that she never even wanted it in the first place? Like,
Right.
instead of him to think of a reasonable decision or something that would be better, he's still thinking of staying longer so as to
Mhm.
wait for her. No, Maurice is crap. Is disgusting. He was disgusting to me. Him saying that at that moment, saying that, okay, I'm gonna stay in longer just for you to. Oh,
Right.
I
When she
felt I
doesn't
really,
want to do it. She doesn't
yeah,
want to do it. And then she seems to be a woman who's really concerned about her appearance. She always looks very nice.
Yeah.
Makeup,
yeah.
hair, nails, clothes. So for her to express how she does not feel attractive right now. So it's like, did he
Mhm.
hear that? There are other
I'm
ways that he could make her feel attractive besides that.
True.
I'm not sure he was hearing. All Maurice was hearing was like, oh, so I'm not gonna be having sex now. Okay, so I have to work harder to make you ejaculate. That was what he was hearing. He wasn't hearing the other part where she was saying that she was feeling unpretty and everything. And that was selfish. He was selfish in this conversation. He was literally the most selfish person because he acted so caring and loving through Akimo, and I thought that, okay, all is well and nice, just for her to be going through that inside the
Yeah.
household.
Yeah.
That was bad. You don't act as if you care for your wife, all this, and make us love you like, oh, you are a caring husband, just for you to be putting her through that.
Yeah.
When you're having sex and not enjoying it, what is the essence? What exactly is it? Like, what are you doing? I
Yeah.
feel like Kimmy should stand up for herself. And I feel like she's scared of losing Maurice. She's willing to sacrifice herself for that. And I feel like the moment she decides to tell herself that it's not worth it, the better for her.
Yeah, I know from seeing other people go through chemo and everything, it's exhausting. It's hard for them. Some of them to get dressed, bathe. So all that she's doing, I commend her. She's a superwoman.
Yeah.
She's a superwoman. And then handling her business in the bedroom, I gotta throw my hat off to her. Because I couldn't do it.
I
I
can't.
couldn't. I couldn't. If I'm sick, I am sick. You know, point blank. Give me some time to heal and go through all of these things. In the meantime, let's just date each other. You know how you did when you dated, you didn't do really. You kind of
Yeah.
messed around with the idea of it to build it up. You know what I'm saying? Date me.
Um, I feel like Maurice just wants the real thing, and if he's not getting that, he's not getting that. Well, um, I guess we'll just have to end it today. But next week's episode is going to be fun because we literally would see the Scott brothers fight against each other. And I can't wait for that. I can't literally wait for that because I do you know how happy I was that Melody was not the one that brought up the arguments in the chat. I was literally happy. I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm literally good. But I can't wait for next week episode. And I know most of you guys cannot wait for next week episode. Be sure to join us same time next week. And also, yeah, we're also going to be back here tomorrow talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta. Hopefully, I don't know whether they're going to actually show us something that we could talk about,
So
but
you're gonna
hopefully
give
we're
it
going to be
another
back.
shot. You're gonna give it another shot.
You said,
I said you're gonna give Atlanta another shot.
ah, I have to.
Okay.
Like, I can't give up. So let me just see how that's gonna turn out. Let's just see. We just have to endure it. But I'm happy that there's a rumor of them probably recasting because that's necessary. But I just wait. So we'll be here same time tomorrow to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. Make sure to join us here. Thank you very much, Living for Your Girls, for joining us. Thank you, Shop Reality
Thank
TV.
you.
And make sure you go subscribe to our channels. Make sure you subscribe to Shop Reality TV's YouTube channel. And also make sure you subscribe to my own channel on Filtered Uzo. Like and comment on our videos. And we'll see you guys same time tomorrow. Love you guys. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
All
So
right.
much fun.
All
So
right.
much
Thank
fun. Thank you
you.
guys so much. Have a great evening,
You
nighttime.
guys
See
too.
you.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye.